Hello everyone and welcome back to Coloring with Haley. It is the end of the month and that means it's time for finished pages. I got done quite a few things this month, I think, or at least a decent amount. Mostly fall coloring. I wasn't ready to start Christmas yet, but I did do a few Christmas things. We're going to start with Chibi Girls Grayscale. I only have 3 pages left in this book and hopefully I'm going to get those done in December. The first page is this very first page in the book, actually. The fairy page. And I kind of struggled with this one. I just really didn't know what to do with it. I'm not sure if I'm happy with how it turned out or not. I think I am. I think I like how it turned out. There is a lot of glitter on this page. She has glitter on her wings and so do the little butterflies around her. This, I'm thinking, is actually part of her dress. When I originally colored the page, I colored it like part of her hair. I think it's part of the dress now, but oh well. Let me hold this up. I really didn't put any white paint on here anywhere. In her eyes and on the claws of the owl is about it, really. Let me hold this up so you can see. There we go. All of the glitter on the butterflies just to make them stand out a little bit. And I did use the Milky Pop gel pens to do these flowers down here because they were kind of so small. I figured if I used an alcohol marker on them, it would bleed out of the lines and kind of get everywhere. So next I did this page here. The couple in the nice house, and I turned this guy into a vampire. He wasn't a vampire, but there's a page, I think up here that I did quite a while ago. Yeah, this one where it is a vampire, and I just really liked that page. And I kind of just wanted to recreate it, so I did give him vampire teeth, and he's got the gray skin and everything. And I used quite a bit of white paint on this one. Down here, the lace on her dress. I did outline the collar of his suit, the cuffs of his suit, and this painting here is the cover of Jade Summer's vampire book, and whew, there's a lot of detail on this tiny little painting in the back, and I just did not feel like doing all the details, so I colored it a solid color. It looks okay. And of course there is glitter on here. I used gold to outline the painting. Another reason I made him as a vampire was because this was a picture of a vampire, and I thought, if he's not a vampire, why does he have a picture of a vampire in his house? But let's see if we can see the glitter. There we go. Her shoes are glittery too, and so are some of her jewelry. I do really like how this one came out. And back here, I did this one because I got my hair cut this month, so I thought might as well do this page. This one was a lot of fun. I did the stylist in kind of like a bunch of bright hair colors because sometimes you see the stylists that have the dyed hair and everything. But I did her just like with regular brown hair. That's definitely not what my hair looks like. I got all my hair cut really short. I didn't try to reflect on my own experience there. I just had fun with this one. I used a lot of pink and bright colors, and I don't usually use bright colors very often. But I did use glitter on the scissors here and on the jewelry of this girl down here, and you can see the scissors. There was like a little shimmer on the side of the scissors in the grayscale, and to make it pop I used the white paint pen, and I believe other than the windows here, that's the only place I used white paint on this picture. A little unusual for me to not use a lot of white paint, but I'm thinking just by looking at this, all I did. I did this like way earlier in the month, so I'm trying to remember. But I'm happy with that one. I've just got 3 pages left. I've got the mermaid in the beginning. There's a princess page back here. Yeah, this princess page, and then like a girl on a runway, I think. Let me see if I can find it. Well, I thought it was back here somewhere, but I can't find it. Well, you'll probably see it next month, so. Alright, next up, we did some pages out of Whimsy Girls. Oof, there we go, getting ahead of myself. Celebrate the holidays and festive occasions. There were 3 pages this month, and I did all 3. First is the Day of the Dead. I think it's Dios de los Muertos, but I don't really know Spanish that well. I did the simplified version of this one because I just wasn't feeling the busier version, and I really, really like how this turned out. This was probably one of my favorites that I've done in the book. I did use quite a bit of paint on her sugar skull mask, I guess, maybe is what you'd call it. I outlined a lot of the things with paint, so the decoration around her eyes, the flowers here, that's all been outlined with paint. And there's, of course, a lot of glitter on this as well, and even on the one down here, there's a lot of glitter there. I used glitter to make the candlesticks look like they were actually alight. And I think that's the only place I used the paint and glitter. Yeah, and I'm just really happy with how this one turned out. I don't know if the glitter is going to show up as well on this one. It doesn't want to. Yeah, it doesn't want to show up as well. Next we did the Macy's Day Parade page, and I had kind of a blunder on this one. The marker I was using for this girl's skin tone, I got her neck colored and then started on her face and it ran out, and you can kind of see right there where it ran out, so I went over it with a darker color. And it looks fine, there's just a splotch right there that you can kind of see. But I really also like how this page turned out. This one was a lot of fun to do. This is the more difficult version of this one. I used to get up early to watch the Macy's Day Parade, but not really anymore. I did use paint on this one as well. I did the outline of her scarf down here, her poofy hat, and I did the turkey's white feathers back here with paint as well as some of the places on the balloons here. And I did add a little bit of glitter. There's some glitter on this balloon here, and there's some on this girl's sweater. It doesn't want to show up as well in this book. I don't know why. You can kind of see it there. But I'm very happy with how this page turned out. Lots of colors, very bright. I really enjoyed this one. And then, here's my Thanksgiving page. I did the easier version of this one because kind of towards the end of the month around Thanksgiving, I was feeling tired and done with college. My finals are the weekend of me filming this video. Thankfully, I was just tired and done with everything, so I didn't feel like doing the more complicated version, so I just did the simpler one, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. I did use my white paint on the glasses here for this lady, and I used white and red paint on the jello down here. I wanted to kind of make it look more like jello, more or less, and I've used a few pieces to highlight there, and no glitter. Well, you know what, that's wrong. There is glitter right there on her glasses. I don't know if that will show. Yeah, I don't think it's going to because it's just a small amount. But I'm also very happy with how this page turned out. I really like how my mashed potatoes turned out. I don't know why. Also the jello, I think those both turned out really good. So we have just 4 pages in this book before it's finished. So that'll be 2 books finished next month if I get them done. And then I did some pages out of 50 autumn miniatures to kind of finish out my fall coloring that I wanted to do before I start on the winter miniatures. And she did put out a Christmas elves book, but elves are not really my thing, or at least like little tiny elves. I like the big, like elegant elves from Lord of the Rings, those type with like the really long hair, you know. The little elves, I don't know, they're a little creepy. A weird thing to be creepy, but they're just a little creepy to me. Back to this though. I did this page with the mice. It rained quite a bit this month here, so this was a fitting page to do. And I did the outlining and a little bit of shading like I always do. I used a lot of paint on this one though. I used the dark blue to outline the puddle and these raindrops here, and then the lighter blue to do the ripples in the water. There is a little bit of glitter on the little candle that they're holding here and on the metal of the umbrella. But I am happy with how this page turned out. This one's really cute. Let me find it. There we go. And I tried a new technique for this month. I saw some people, I can't remember exactly who did the outlining for these with water-based markers, and I have a set of like 50 Crayola Super Tips. It's really just been sitting around, and I decided to try to use that to do the outlining, and actually really like how it turned out, because obviously the watercolor markers bleed a little less, right? And I actually do like how it turned out. So I know I used it on the corn and the dogs and the leaves for sure. I think with the basket, because I had such a limited amount of colors, I did have to switch back to the alcohol markers. But I am very happy with how that turned out, and I even used it on the next page in here too. And I'll probably be using it on the winter one. I did add some white paint to just kind of make the corn look shiny, and there is, of course, a big glittery scarf on this little dog here on the left. And the last page I did out of here was this mushroom page because I really like mushrooms. Mushrooms taste good. I like eating them. I like mushroom hunting. I just like mushrooms a lot. So I did the same thing with the water-based markers. I did my shading on all these mushrooms with them, the store, the leaves, even the rocks down here. I think I managed to find enough colors to make it work on this one. I don't think I had to use any alcohol markers for the shading. The base is alcohol markers, but the shading on top is watercolor. And there is a little bit of glitter. The keyhole and the key down there are all gold glitter. I am very happy with how this page turned out, but you can't go wrong with mushrooms. So next, I have Jade Summer's Forest Animals coloring book. And I did this page with the squirrels. I really like squirrels. I have a cousin that loves squirrels a lot, and I was thinking about her when I did this page. And I am very happy with how this turned out. It is a darker page, but I wanted it to be darker in kind of fall time. There aren't too many pictures in here that I would say are fall. Most of them are kind of spring or summer, but I turned this one into a fall page because there weren't as many flowers in it. So I thought you could do the leaves in a bunch of different colors and make it a fall page. And you see squirrels a lot in the fall, so happy with how that one turned out. There's no paint or glitter on that one, it's just colored. I did a page out of 50 ocean miniatures because I got it as a gift last month for my birthday from Misty, so I had to do a page out of it. And I did this very bright page here with the sea anemones, and I actually looked up some sea anemones to kind of figure out what colors they were, and they were all very bright colors. So that is why these sea anemones are like neon colors. That is what they actually look like. I did do the shading on the fish, but I didn't do it on the sea anemones because I kind of wanted the fish to just stand out a little bit more, the clownfish here. And I actually also looked up some actual colors of clownfish as well for these little guys. And there is glitter, of course, on the little door down here. The door is made up of like seashells, so I used a bunch of different colored glitter on that one. And then I did this page on camera for Thanksgiving out of the Country Life Color by Colors by Kira Shersneva. Here are my turkeys. Not quite fall in the picture, but again, it had a turkey in it, so I thought that was suitable for Thanksgiving. And again, I just really love coloring in these books, and I love how it turns out. I used my Sharpies on this one. I'm kind of moving this page around a lot because it's shiny, and so it really wants to reflect the light off of my lights. If I hold it up like that, there we go. So I'm really happy with how this one turned out. These are simple to color too. I can get one of these done in about 30 or 40 minutes, usually, if I'm not distracted by talking. And they just turn out really nice, even with your cheap markers. The outline makes them look really good. Then I did another book that I was gifted last month for my birthday from Michelle. This was Kawaii Galaxy. It was a Colored Caramel book. I believe Colored Caramel now puts their name on the books, but I haven't ordered one in a while, so. I had been doing a lot of more complicated coloring around the time I colored this one, so I just wanted to do something very simple and easy and cute. So I just did this little panda bear being abducted by this octopus up here. And I did some outlining on this one as well. It's on a spaceship. It's on the panda bear, but I'm not sure. It's such a light gray, it may not show up too well. It's on his bamboo. There is glitter, of course, on all the stars back here and the heart because the octopus is like really happy to be abducting this panda bear. I thought about doing a background, but you guys know me, I'm not exactly a fan of doing backgrounds, so this was really fun to just color and relax and just color something simple and put some colors on a page, and I really like how this one turned out a lot. I've got some more fall pages. I did just a couple of pages at the beginning of the month out of the Easy Halloween by Jade Summer, just some kind of basic fall themed ones. I did this Scarecrow, as I'm probably not going to do any more in this book next month. I think I'm going to do stuff out of the Easy Christmas. but I love how this turned out. I used the shading that's in here as a guide for my own shading, so I didn't do a sky because, again, you guys know I'm not a big fan of backgrounds, but I had wanted to color this page. There was just something about this page that I was just in love with, and I just didn't get to it last month. They did so many other pages in here. But I'm really happy with this. And I don't put any glitter or paint on these. I just like to strictly just color these, you know? And then I did this one, which is a simpler one, but it's just like a pumpkin spice latte. And I made it look like a drink from Starbucks. I tried to make it the dark green Starbucks cup. And I like how this one turned out too. And then we've got what very few Christmas and wintry pages I did get started on. So I got this Color Quest Winter Wonders book, which is new this year and it's smaller than the other Color Quest books. And I started at the back with this husky picture. It looks a lot better on camera than it does in person, but I think that about a lot of these sort of mystery or mosaic type of color by number pictures. It looks really good the further away you are from it, and the closer you are to it, the more it looks like blocks of color and less like a homogeneous picture. This was actually also a little bit more difficult than I was anticipating it to be. It is diamond shapes for this one, but I am very happy with how this turned out. I believe I used a variety of markers. I know I used some Sharpies on here for sure, but there were a lot of gray tones, and so I think I had to get some of my Tau trees and maybe even some of my Cali art markers to get all those grays in there. And of course I did go ahead and do a few pages out of Easy Christmas by Jade Summer already, and I'm going to be doing a bunch of them in this month coming up. I missed a page already, didn't I? Yeah, there you go. I did this candy jar. I think it's got candy and cookies in it. And again, I used their shading as a guide for my own. I'm very happy with how this turned out, especially my cookies in here. I am not a big candy cane person, by the way. I don't really like peppermint or mint, but I did try to do different colors rather than make them all red and white, because I know I've seen the green and white ones, which are spearmint, right? Not exactly a fan of those either. And then I did the cookies. Of course, I did the cookies in like all of the sweet and treat pages for Halloween last month, so you'll probably see a bunch of the food pages. There's just something really fun about coloring food to me. And this one up here is actually not white. It is kind of a cream color, but it's just sort of a light color. I wanted to make it just like a regular plain sugar cookie. And again, I'm really happy with how this page turned out. And then I did this vehicle here, and I did it like the SUV from Christmas Vacation, because that is like the one and only Christmas movie that my family watches every Christmas, and I looked up the scene and rewatched it to make sure I kind of got the color of the vehicle right and everything, and I am very, very happy with how the wood grain turned out. Especially, I think I managed to capture the wood grain really well, and it was kind of one of my first times doing wood grain, so very happy with how this page turned out. Even my Christmas tree up there looks good. I just knew that I had to do this page that way when I saw it. So, those are all of the books that I worked in this month. Quite a few different books, a lot of variety for this month. Thank you guys for watching my finished pages. I hope you enjoyed, and we are getting ready to move on to a bunch of Christmas coloring. So get ready to see a ton of Christmas coloring, and I'll even have a Christmas background back